This is the CanLII files. Real courtrooms, real people, real cases. Every episode, we bring you inside Canadian courtrooms, where lives change in a moment and justice is decided. No actors, no fiction, just the truth, told in full. These are real cases, drawn straight from the official court records. Let's begin. Steven Boone was 28 years old in October 2009 when he was diagnosed with HIV. According to both his text messages and the testimony of his roommates, Boone had been in a serious romantic relationship and believed that person had infected him. He called it the ultimate sacrifice. Boone informed his roommates and some people in his life that he had HIV, but he did not tell his sexual partners. He continued having sex, mostly with men he met through online dating sites like Manhunt. The Crown said most encounters were casual, but in some messages and conversations, Boone sounded lonely, craving a deeper connection, and desperate for love. Instead of starting medication to lower his viral load, Boone chose not to treat the virus. That choice kept his viral load very high, over 50,000 copies per milliliter of blood, making him extremely infectious. He knew that. Boone became immersed in what was described at trial as the bug-chasing subculture. This group finds sexual arousal in the idea of becoming HIV positive or infecting others with HIV. In his text messages, Boone wrote things like, "Love turning dudes pos, feels intense knowing I'm marking them for life with my DNA. I want a neg boy to turn pos so he's mine. I want to fuck you bare until you become pose with my peas loads. Asterisk, make you my poos boy for life. I be changing you forever. Might get infected from the first fuck because my viral load is high and not on meds." Asterisk, Boone's messages also revealed that he bragged about lying to partners about his HIV status, refused antiretroviral drugs specifically to increase the risk of infection, sabotaged condoms, sometimes poking holes in them or pretending to. He wasn't fantasizing alone. He was using people to act it out. Scene 3. The victims who they were before Boone. DS, a 17-year-old, just discovering himself. In January 2010, DS met Boone online. DS was 17 years old. Boone told him he was clean. They had unprotected anal sex 9 times in January and February 2010. DS was always the receptive partner, and Boone ejaculated into him on 7 occasions. Boone later wrote texts bragging about filling DS with semen and that DS didn't know he was HIV positive. In February, DS confronted Boone after hearing rumors. Boone first denied it, then admitted to lying. In April 2010, DS tested positive for HIV. DS had sex with others during that time, but expert witness Dr. Robert Remus analyzed the timeline and concluded it was highly likely that Boone was the source of infection. DS now has to take HIV medication for life. Dr. Remus explained that people with HIV live about 12 years less than uninfected people, even with medication. MC was also 17 years old when he met Boone online. He wanted just one night. Boone said he was clean. MC went to Boone's house. They had oral sex. Neither man ejaculated. But then Boone penetrated MC twice without a condom and ejaculated both times. MC didn't want a relationship, but Boone pushed for more. One of Boone's roommates told MC about Boone's HIV status. When confronted, Boone denied it again. Later, MC tested HIV negative, but told the court he would not have agreed to any sex if he'd known the truth. Boone and MB had met before in 2009, but reconnected in March 2010. By then, MB was already HIV positive. MB saw Boone's profile on Manhunt, which stated that Boone was HIV positive. MB contacted him, hoping for sex. Boone told MB he was not taking meds. MB lied to Boone and said he thought he was HIV negative to feed Boone's fantasy. MB believed Boone was sexually aroused by infecting others. They had unprotected anal sex twice or March. Boone penetrated MB and ejaculated both times. Boone wanted a relationship. MB did not. They stopped speaking after March 15, 2010. When news broke about Boone's case, MB went to the police, but initially lied, saying Boone hadn't told him his status. He'd admitted that lie later and said he might have perjured himself under oath if the truth hadn't come out. Boone told BC he was HIV negative. BC said he'd only agree to sex if Boone wore a condom. Boone appeared to comply. BC watched him put one on and take it off afterward. They had anal sex once. BC couldn't tell if Boone had ejaculated, but Boone's text messages showed he often lied about condom use or sabotaged them. The Crown argued that the jury could infer that Boone used one of these tricks on BC. BC later read about Boone in the news. He got tested 3 times, all negative. Still, BC said he never would have consented if he'd known Boone's real status. At trial, both Crown and defense called expert witnesses. Dr. Robert Remes for the Crown, Dr. Mark Tyndall for the defense. They agreed on key facts. HIV is incurable. Untreated, it leads to AIDS, which causes death in 10 to 15 years. With medication, it's a chronic but manageable illness. Some people can't tolerate the medication, and it doesn't work for everyone. They also agreed anal sex has the highest risk of HIV transmission. Condoms reduce risk by 80 to 100% if used properly. Ejaculation increases risk. High viral load, high risk. Boone had a very high viral load. He also had gonorrhea in both May 2009 and April 2010, which increases HIV transmission risk. Dr. Remus estimated transmission risk per act. As Boone was already convicted, the trial judge had given him a 14-year sentence with credit for time served. His net sentence was 9 years, 3 months, followed by 5 years of supervision. But now, everything was on the line again. The courtroom was still. The lawyers had spoken, the facts were on the record, and the court was about to decide, did Boone want these men to DL? And if he didn't say it out loud, did he know it would happen? Did his desire for control, for intimacy, for obsession, drive him to destroy? That's where the story begins.